As you guys can see on the screen, today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, and more specifically the very bad day that it is having today on June 24th of 2024, down 6.35% in a single day. Now, obviously, if you've been in crypto for any amount of time or even just know about crypto, have heard about it, whatever, you know that it is very, very volatile. It is not unlikely or uncommon for crypto to have 5-10% days in either direction, sometimes even more, but obviously still seeing a 6% downward day in just a single day is going to hurt, people that own obviously significant amounts of crypto or whatever. They are noticing their accounts down today. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about why Bitcoin has decided to have such a bad day today after having what has been a really, really good 2024 so far. Again, year to date up 33.93%. In the past year, up almost 100%. And that might begin to explain a little bit about what is going on. Obviously, what goes up must come down, and all things that go up or do well or anything are going to have ebbs and flows, are going to have ups and downs. So part of it is Bitcoin has been on a crazy run, and we've even been trading in this territory, of like 60K-ish range all the way back since February. You can see prices have been pretty steady. So obviously there might be some exhaustion at some points when we keep going up and down. The market might just be getting a little bit tired. We might be, just testing out some new levels, limits, whatever. We have seen prices below 60K not that long ago. This was May 1st. We hit about 58,000, and then again we went all the way back up to 71 again in June. So just because we're breaking 60K doesn't automatically mean something terrible is happening or Bitcoin's going to cause this massive drop. We've gone to these prices and rebounded before, but could things get much worse? Yes, for sure. I mean, the prices we saw previously to this were about 50K, back in February. So could we be headed back down to 50K? Yeah, that is very, very possible. But also, obviously, crypto being very, very volatile. Like I said, it's going to have some crazy days. But also today and recently has not been that good for the stock market. SPY is down 0.33%. It's up 0.12% in the past 5 days, but you can see the last couple days have been pretty down, with the SPY being down about 1.27% in the last 2 or 3 days. So obviously it's the summertime. We know that June and September are, I think, the two historically worst months for stocks and for things like that. So it's obviously possible we could just be kind of hitting the dog days of summer where things are going to be taking a little bit of a dip. Things are going to be slowing down a little bit. That's very possible. We also saw NVDA stock, obviously one of the most popular stocks in the market right now. A lot of tech money, a lot of that speculative money getting piled into NVIDIA. It's down 6.5% today. I think it's maybe not a total coincidence that the drop of NVIDIA is very similar to the drop of Bitcoin. Could be a lot of people that are in both. Obviously, there's a lot of retail investors in stuff like NVIDIA. There's a lot of speculative investors, a lot of people who have also had very, very big run-ups in both NVIDIA and Bitcoin, maybe taking some profits at some point as well. That could be very, very possible. But some of the news of what is going on and what actually could maybe explain a little bit of what is going on with this Bitcoin drop. Obviously, nobody's going to specifically know at the end of the day. There is this. The market is all red. Once again, this is from Yahoo Finance. Over the past week, Bitcoin has shed nearly 5,000 from its value, plummeting to around the 61K mark. Again, we're down to 59K. The sudden plunge has left investors and analysts confused. This is kind of one big thing. The crypto fear and greed index fell from 60 to 49 in just 13 days, moving from greed to the edge of neutral territory. So fear and greed index generally at least pretty good indicators of what is going on in the markets, and we were in the greed territory for crypto previously. So whenever you get into that greedy territory, usually some kind of pullback, whether it be small, medium, or large, is expected, and we've seen that pullback into the neutral territory now. Again, generally you'll be okay if you're selling during the greedy periods and buying during the fearful periods, especially if it's an asset that you truly believe in and is going to do well over time and stuff like that. So we were in the greedy territory over the past 2 weeks, so not totally unexpected to see a little bit of a dip, a little bit of a pullback. The sudden price drop and sentiment shift have left many wondering about the underlying causes, and a couple explanations, at least potential explanations from Yahoo Finance, are the crypto market experienced significant turbulence following news that the German government is preparing to liquidate a substantial Bitcoin holding. The German Federal Criminal Police Office, the BKA, held approximately 50,000 Bitcoin seized from a piracy site in 2013, now valued at over $3 billion. That news, which came to light a few days ago, likely triggered Bitcoin's initial drop from 66 to 63, maybe, who knows, but still, again, if they are going to be liquidating that much Bitcoin, obviously that much hitting the market is going to cause some kind of drop, and the prospect of such a large amount of Bitcoin potentially entering the market has understandably caused concern among investors, but again, in the long term, that shouldn't really matter, so that's just kind of short-term price movements, short-term price scares, whatever. Reports suggest that the German authorities have already begun the process selling around 3,000 Bitcoin in recent days. However, the bulk of the holding remains to be sold. So obviously when that stuff hits the market, that's just going to naturally drop things down because it's going to be a lot of selling pressure, but also could be scaring some people and making things drop even more. The government appears to be taking a measured approach to minimize market impact, but investor anxiety still persists. Big players hitting the brakes. The second major factor behind Bitcoin's recent price slide involves the market's biggest fish, the whales. Whales have suddenly become much less active. The big transactions dropped by 42% in just a couple of days. That's a significant change in behavior. So obviously, if the big whales are not as active, not as buying, that's going to affect some things as well, and could also be scaring some people. Why are the whales not as active right now? But again, if you're somebody that believes in crypto and Bitcoin in the long run, this stuff doesn't really matter. Whether Bitcoin drops all the way down to 40K like we saw at the beginning of the year, or whatever, doesn't really matter. And yes, like I said, a 6% drop in one day does hurt. If you check your accounts, you do notice it. You can see these price changes. But at the end of the day, the long term is really what's going to matter at the end of the day. Bitcoin briefly falls below 60K for first time since early May. Crypto bears have become louder. Bitcoin plunged Monday to its lowest price since May, extending the mid-year sell-off, cutting into the leading cryptocurrency's strong returns following January's landmark approval of spot Bitcoin ETFs. Again, Bitcoin is now down 11% in June, but remains up 42% year to date. So still, at the end of the day, is it that bad? Is it that bad that we've really dropped down, again, to prices that we just saw a little over a month ago, a month and a half ago, something like that? I don't know. It's not really worth panicking all that much just yet to me. The recent losses were apparently catalyzed by anticipated sales linked to long-shuttered Japanese exchange Mt. Gox's looming return of nearly $9 billion worth of Bitcoin to creditors, and the German government's reported sale of hundreds of millions of dollars worth of the cryptocurrency. Other cryptocurrencies are also sliding right now, experiencing some of this. But like I said, right now it's not a great day for the markets. They're down. Some of the most popular stocks in tech are down. Bitcoin is down. There is some news. It is just kind of general market sentiment. And like I said, the summertime months are generally not the best for assets in general anyway. So is there one specific reason why Bitcoin is crashing today? No. But is everything probably going to be okay? Yeah. So I would relax. But hopefully you guys did learn something from this video. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.